Section 21 of the Education Act places responsibilities on you as a parent. And if you violate the act by not carrying those out, then you have some serious fines or penalties. Now, we have the entire act read in a different video, but let's see what section 21 says. It shall be the duty of the parent of every child, you see that, to cause him to receive full-time education suitable to his age and ability. And here, if any child of compulsory school age in a compulsory education area who is a registered student at a school, what it says, fails to attend regularly thereat, then the parent of the child shall be guilty of an offense against this section. So, make a note of that. Here, we want to look at the fines that you're going to have to pay. Now, here, what it says is that at any time when he was prevented from attending by reason of sickness, no problem. If the child is sick, he can't attend school at the time, or with leave granted by any person authorized to do so, or if the parent proves that the school at which the child is registered is not within walking distance, all right, then you can send them to another school. But if you, without these justifications, don't register your child in a school, and where the child is registered, the child is not attending regularly, then you have some fines to pay. Any person who is guilty of an offense against this section shall be liable to on summary conviction before a resident magistrate, in the case of a first conviction, to a fine not exceeding $1. Not half a dollar, not $0.25, but $1 whole. And if you appear before the court and they charge you, you probably are some of the fortunate persons who can more than afford the dollar. But if you continue to violate the act, guess what? In the case of a second conviction, to a fine not exceeding $4. And in the third or subsequent conviction, to a fine not exceeding $10. Now, it means that if you are hungry and you want to buy a finger banana to eat, right now a finger banana, ripe banana, costs so much? $50. If you have to go to the court and they charge you $10 and it's $50 you have to buy the ripe banana, then you're going to have to go hungry, because after you pay the court the $10, it's $40 you have left, and you can't buy that ripe banana again. So, if you don't pay the $1 or the $4 or the $10, guess what? I have news for you. Or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 14 days, that is 2 weeks, or to both such fine and imprisonment. So, if you don't pay the $1 or the $4, or if you don't pay the $10, you can spend up to 2 weeks in prison. So, you choose the $1 or 2 weeks in prison. Now, here, in addition to that, you have more coming to you. The school maintenance record. Now, the ministry will send an education officer to examine the records of attendance of every student. Now, if it appears to the educational board for any compulsory education area that the parent of a child, of any child of compulsory school age residing in such area is failing to perform the duty imposed on such parents by section 21, the educational board shall serve upon the parent a notice requiring him within such time as may be specified in the notice, not being less than 14 days from the service thereof, to satisfy the educational board that the child is receiving full-time suitable education to his age and ability and satisfactory to the educational board, either by regular attendance at school or otherwise. So you have 2 weeks within which to start sending the child to school regularly. And if you fail to satisfy the board in accordance with the requirement of this notice, then here you have some penalties to pay. Right? Now you will receive a school attendance order. We'll see the penalties a little later. So you will receive a school attendance order, a document stating that you must register this child and send them to school regularly. It will require the parent to cause the child to become a registered student at a school named in the order. And if after getting the order you fail to comply with the requirements, you shall be guilty of an offense against this section. If in any proceedings against any person for a failure to comply with a school attendance order, that person is acquitted, the court may direct the school attendance order shall cease. But that is only if you are acquitted. But here now, if you're not acquitted, guess what? Any person who is guilty of an offense against this section shall be liable on summary conviction before a resident magistrate. In the case of a first conviction, to a fine not exceeding, again, $1. Times hard, you know. So you can't afford to have to be losing your money because the court forces you to pay a fine of that $1. I'm sure you work hard for that $1. And in the case of a second conviction, to a fine not exceeding, not 1, not 2, not 3, but $4. And if you continue to violate the act, in the case of a third or subsequent conviction, to a fine not exceeding $10 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 14 days, 2 weeks in prison. You pay up the $10 or spend 2 weeks in prison. So make sure you register your children in a school and send them to school regularly.